Friday of the 21st week in Ordinary Time. Memorial of St. Augustine, Bishop and Doctor of the Church.
A reading from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. Brothers and sisters, Christ did not send me to baptize, but to preach the gospel, and not with the wisdom of human eloquence, so that the cross of Christ might not be emptied of its meaning. The message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and the learning of the learned I will set aside. Where is the wise one? Where is the scribe? Where is the debater of this age? Has not God made the wisdom of the world foolish? For since in the wisdom of God, the world did not come to know God through wisdom, it was the will of God through the foolishness of the proclamation to save those who have faith. For Jews demand signs, and Greeks look for wisdom. But we proclaim Christ crucified, a stumbling block to Jews and foolishness to Gentiles. But to those who are called, Jews and Greeks alike, Christ the power of God and the wisdom of God. For the foolishness of God is wiser than human wisdom, and the weakness of God is stronger than human strength. The word of the Lord.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus told his disciples this parable. The kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins, who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish, and 5 were wise. The foolish ones, when taking their lamps, brought no oil with them, but the wise brought flasks of oil with their lamps. Since the bridegroom was long delayed, they all became drowsy and fell asleep. At midnight there was a cry, Behold, the bridegroom! Come out to meet him. Then all those virgins got up and trimmed their lamps. The foolish ones said to the wise, Give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out. But the wise ones replied, No, for there may not be enough for us and you. Go instead to the merchants and buy some for yourselves. While they went off to buy it, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went into the wedding feast with him. Then the door was locked. Afterwards, the other virgins came and said, Lord, Lord, open the door for us. But he said in reply, Amen, I say to you, I do not know you. Therefore stay awake, for you know neither the day nor the hour. The Gospel of the Lord.
Reflection. Are you missing out on what's most important in life? Being unprepared can lead to a lot of unnecessary trouble and even disastrous consequences. What good is a life jacket left on shore when the boat is sinking? Jesus' story of 10 silly girls seems strange to Westerners today. But his audience knew all too well how easily this could happen to them. Wedding customs in ancient Palestine required extra vigilance and preparation for everyone involved. Some Near Eastern villages still follow this custom. The bride and groom did not go away for their honeymoon, but celebrated for a whole week with their family and friends. It was the custom for the groom to come at his discretion and get his bride and bring her to the wedding party. If he came at night, lamps were required by necessity. To show up for a night party without a wedding garment and a lamp is like showing up for a play or movie that requires a reservation and a ticket. You just don't get in without the proper pass. Can you imagine the frustration one experiences in traveling abroad and finding out you can't get into some country because you don't have a valid passport or visa? Jesus warns us that there are consequences for being unprepared. There are certain things you cannot obtain at the last moment. For example, a student cannot prepare for his exam when the day of testing is upon him. A person cannot get the right kind of character or skill required for a task at hand unless he already possesses it. Our eternal welfare depends on our hearing, and many have trained themselves to not hear. We will not be prepared to meet the Lord face to face when He calls us on the day of judgment, unless we listen to Him today. The Lord invites us to feast at His banquet table. Are you ready? Saint Augustine. A Christian at 33, a priest at 36, a bishop at 41, many people are familiar with the biographical sketch of Augustine of Hippo, sinner turned saint. But really, to get to know the man is a rewarding experience. There quickly surfaces the intensity with which he lived his life, whether his path led away from or toward God. The tears of his mother, the instructions of Ambrose, and, most of all, God Himself speaking to him in the Scriptures redirected Augustine's love of life to a life of love. Having been so deeply immersed in creature pride of life in his early days, and having drunk deeply of its bitter dregs, it is not surprising that Augustine should have turned, with a holy fierceness, against the many demon thrusts rampant in his day. His times were truly decadent, politically, socially, morally. He was both feared and loved, like the Master. The perennial criticism leveled against him, a fundamental rigorism. In his day, he providentially fulfilled the office of prophet. Like Jeremiah and other greats, he was hard-pressed but could not keep quiet. I say to myself, I will not mention him, I will speak in his name no more. But then it becomes like fire burning in my heart, imprisoned in my bones, I grow weary holding it in, I cannot endure it. Jeremiah 20:9.